spring, everybody. Yes, it's the first day of spring. Who's excited? I definitely am. I love winter. Winter's one of my favorite seasons, but this winter and this whole 2020 thing, I'm kind of over it. I'm over it. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for some happiness to come into our lives. How are all of you doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I know that we haven't gotten off to the best start this year, and there's a lot of just turmoil and stress and anxiety and worry over things that are going on with the COVID-19 and all of that. So I hope that you guys are all doing well. Leave comments down below and let me know that you're doing okay. Let me know what you're doing with your kiddos to kill some time. A lot of you that have kids are probably stuck with them for the month of March at least. Many of you might be in the same position as me, and our province went ahead and closed our schools indefinitely. So we're basically planning to have our kids out until September when they go back for their new grade. So what's that? That's like 5.5 months from now until September that we've got to have our kids home and keep them occupied. So thankfully spring brings nicer weather for us and I can kick them outside for a little bit. And thankfully our teachers are still going to be in their classrooms working on some online curriculum and homework and things to keep our kids occupied and kind of keep them up to date, get their brain muscles flexed so that they're ready for next year. So that is definitely a good thing too. But let me know what you guys are up to. If you've found any really cool virtual tours or anything going on, I'd love to hear all about it. So let's talk about the layout because that's why we're here. So Crafty Maven, our Crafty Mavens, sorry, my dog is chewing on my sock. Our Crafty Mavens are doing a little bit of spring cleaning today by doing a Grab 5 challenge YouTube hop where we're going to use up a few things from our stash, get our stash cleaned up a little bit. So as you can see, green is obviously one of our challenge items, actually green and gold. And then we also have the oldest piece of or oldest mixed media product in our stash, which for me is that watercolor palette that you see right beside me. That is an Artist's Loft watercolor palette. I think they've kind of rebranded the whole Artist's Loft thing because it's become really popular with crafters. This is one of their original ones from like 10 or 12 years ago. I have the classic one that everybody knows with the little circle palettes or circle paints. But this one was also sold with it and it's more shimmery paints. It's really pretty. It actually works really well. And I don't use it all that often, but I think I should because I love the way that the watercolors work on paper in my backgrounds. So that's my oldest mixed media product. And then we're also using buttons. For some reason, buttons just remind me of spring. They remind me of Easter, actually. I don't know if it's the whole idea of like a new outfit at Easter or Easter bonnets. I'm not sure why I associate buttons with Easter, but I do. So we're going to use those up because I know I've got a ton of them. I'm sure you guys do too. And then we're also going to use wood veneer. Again, I don't really know why wood veneer reminds me of spring, but there's just something about the raw wood feel that just reminds me of spring. And I have a lot of it in my stash, so I figured why not throw that in there. And then the last element is florals, because obviously that is very springy. All our new flowers are going to be popping up anytime now. I can't wait. So those are the 5 things that we've got to use in our layout. And you can see what I've done is I did some watercoloring in the background on some white cardstock. And then while that was drying, I cut a banner from that white and gold polka dotted paper. Those little gold polka dots are kind of glittery, and I thought that was really pretty. So I've got my green and gold in there. And then I just went through my American Crafts sticker books. I have the Chamel one and the Maggie Holmes one. And I love these sticker books. I wish I could get more of them easier here in Canada because they're so great. I love that there's so many different styles of stickers. Like, I guess not the style because they're all Maggie and Chamel, but the way that what they're printed on, so the texture of the stickers. So there's some clear ones and some frosted ones and some cardstock ones that are matte. There's cardstock ones that are foiled. There is sort of like that shimmer or pearl texture to some of them. I just think it's great because you can pull out all these different elements and you get a lot of interest and a lot of detail into your layout just by the different textures from the stickers, without having to add, all these different elements from all over the place. So I literally went through both of the sticker pads and I pulled out everything that was green, flowers and a camera and bows and labels and all kinds of stuff. So I even got a green rose in there, which is perfect. And I just layered them all around the photo. I matted my photo on some green cardstock that has little glittery green polka dots. And then I just did, there's sort of 3 clusters, I guess, but I kind of just tucked things in wherever I could and made this really big cluster around the entire photo. And then of course up at the top there too, I did a little cluster, and that's where my title is. So that little sticker says "You are a gem." I thought it worked really good for these pictures. This is just pictures of Kaylin last year for her birthday. We pulled her out of school to play hooky a little bit, and we took her to one of our favorite little breakfast shops, and she had I don't remember if it was a milkshake or a float, whatever she was having. And she makes the funniest faces. She's super expressive. So I was just snapping away a whole bunch of pictures of her making faces. And her shirt, she was wearing a green camo sweatshirt. So I thought that worked perfectly because even the picture is bringing in some green. And did you see down in that bottom left-hand corner, I even got a green unicorn in there because A, my daughter is a beautiful unicorn, and B, when else am I going to use a green unicorn except on a almost completely green layout, right? So I even threw that in there. And there's some leaves. I did add a few little gold flowers too, and then I painted my wood veneer gold. That paint is kind of pearl or shimmery, and that's actually just from Dollar Tree, I think, but it worked really good. It soaked into the paint itself, kind of soaked into the wood veneer, but the shimmer kind of stayed on top, so that was perfect. And now I'm just going to pull out a couple little green buttons. Green is my favorite color, so I find using it on layouts really easy, and I loved this. Actually, when I was done, I had all this stuff out and I went ahead and made a couple extra layouts just because I enjoyed it so much. And I love how the watercolors turned out in it. And I love adding all these little teeny tiny details. There's tons of little green hearts, and these little word stickers were green and they have gold writing on them. So yeah, it worked out really good. I was actually surprised once I started flipping through the 2 sticker books. I was surprised how much green there actually was in them. I leave some of it in the book. That's how much green there is. Like those little green chevron, I wanted to use them so badly, but I just didn't know where they might fit. Oh, and here, that's where I pulled out a little gold floral too, to kind of just add a little foiling in with all of that green. And I think that might be it for the stickers. I'm flipping through one last time. Oh, one more heart. I'm just flipping through one last time for anything that really stands out that I might have missed. But I think, yeah, that's it. And lately, I feel like I've been doing a lot of really simple layouts. I've been really trying to not put so much pressure on myself to just keep adding and adding to the layouts and just let my layouts be more simple. Let my videos be a little bit shorter if that's what they are. So it was kind of fun this time to just be really into a layout and be enjoying the process and adding more and more and making these really detailed clusters with lots of little bits and pieces and interesting things in them. So I had a ton of fun doing this. And I just splattered a little bit of that gold paint in there too. Even watered down, it's very subtle, so you'll see it a little bit in the still shots at the end, but it is pretty subtle, but it's definitely shimmery and you can see it there. And then I have that gold pen that I went ahead and did a little bit of journaling. Oh, I think now I'm counting to see if I got everything. So there is buttons, wood veneer, green and gold, the watercolors, and florals. I got them all. So please check down below in the description box for the links to all the other mavens who have hopped along today to celebrate spring. If you have any questions, you can leave them for me down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Happy spring, everybody. Stay safe. And until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.